This is Akashvani. Time for a weekly program, Our Guest. I hand over the mic to the show host, Nitish Arora, for the same.
Prayagraj is the place where a sea of humanity has descended upon for the Mahakumbh. The influx of pilgrims is refusing to ebb, and the wave after wave is reaching from various places of not only India, but from abroad as well. In our guest program, this whole month of February, we are presenting to you the essence of Mahakumbh in the form of a series entitled Voices from Mahakumbh, and recording exclusive interviews. In episode 3 of the series, we try to unfold the fascination that brings Sonia Dahiya from Russia to India. This is a global village now, and most of us get attracted and influenced by other culture, other people, other religions also. And by the way, whichever influence comes to you, if it is a solid influence, if it is something which is meaningful, you will stick to that. You will learn from that. And that is how we become a global village. In our guest program today, I have a guest, Sonia Dahiya, basically from Moscow. She is in love with Indian culture, yoga and Sanskrit. Sonia, first, welcome to our studios.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. You want to have a proof? She will recite a shlok in Sanskrit for all of you.
Mano buddhyahankara chitani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumir natejo navayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham.
So deep, your voice is resonating. Sonia, introduce yourself to our listeners. Where are you from and how did you come into influence of Indian culture and Sanskrit? Where did you learn it from?
I don't know Sanskrit. I am basically from Moscow, and from teenage I got interested in yoga. From my mother I got some books. In Soviet Union actually yoga was not widely spread. It was kind of prohibited to spread that knowledge. But there were a few books and a few hints, some practices were described. In the 1990s, many yoga studios got open, so I started to do some hot yoga exercises with the coaches. When I was 27 maybe, I left a job in a legal company and I just decided that I want to do yoga and I want to dedicate more time of my life to it. So I became a translator in a Ayurvedic yoga studio in Moscow. So this job was very interesting for me because I could do yoga and I could work and I could learn a lot about Indian culture and yoga and Ayurveda. So I was very happy. And there I met my husband. He's Indian and he's a yoga teacher. Despite many questions of people, I am not a yoga teacher and I never meant to become a yoga teacher. I don't want to teach yoga. I don't think that I am ever in this life become capable of teaching yoga because it's too big a responsibility. I'm doing yoga for myself as a self-development.
I take you back to that time when first time you were introduced to the word yoga and you asked about the book, you searched for it. How old were you and where did this yoga came to you when you said that it was kind of not very publicized, not prohibited either in Russia, but still you came in touch with this word and you further tried to explore it?
Yes, I was 13 or 14 when I got interested in it because I felt that this is really something worthy of learning and is really something interesting. But that time it was just, like just a bare mysticism because when you don't really understand something, but deep within you feel some interest, but you cannot describe what it is. You cannot understand because you feel like it is not science, but it is really something interesting because I felt like it will give me much benefit. But there was something missing. That's why I kind of consciously came in touch with Indian culture. I visited India actually when I was maybe 23 or 24, but it was a short enough visit and I basically visited Goa, Mumbai. Did not really come in touch with yoga much and didn't really understand Indian culture. I just felt like it is some another planet. From when you're coming from Russia to India, you feel like you're coming to another planet. You just cannot understand how people live here.
But yoga reached you at the age of 13. Do you now feel that there was some divine connect?
This is difficult to say. It is like something which you cannot explain. Yoga is actually a science. And it is also becoming available for non-Indian people, just interested people. Important thing is that people should have authentic information.
You said when you ultimately came to India for a short span of time and visited only Goa and Mumbai, and you felt like being in another planet altogether, coming from Moscow.
Yes.
So what part of Indian culture attracts you more, and what exactly are you looking for in India now? I mean, spiritual gyan, understanding more of yoga, or other aspects of the culture that fascinate you?
I'm very much fascinated with Indian music, more like classical spiritual music. I'm more into like learning from each other, because this is very different. Even the music theory is very different from what we are studying. The Western music theory and the Indian classical music theory, it is just very two different sciences. Indian music has so many scales. We are just like learning about 6 scales in the Western music, but Indian music has a lot of freedom and a lot of scope for improvisation also. So I'm very much fascinated. I'm dreaming about studying it somewhere properly. Yoga and Indian religion fascinates me a lot because I feel that there is so much joy in it.
So what changes yoga and Indian culture has brought into your life?
A lot. I think much better understanding of myself. I am still in process. It is a long process, but I feel that I can describe yoga as a practical religion. As per me, it is most fairly described and most actually logical system which is provided in the field of religion and self-development in the world. And the system of interaction with Guru in yoga, things are really properly described. Yoga scriptures contain exhausting answers to any question which arises in the disciple's mind. And the concept of the interaction, free talk between Guru and disciple, when disciple is free actually to raise any doubt, then Guru has to give him answer.
As you said that you are also fascinated by the Indian music.
Yes.
Are you learning something from somewhere?
Right now, for me, very easy and very like handy instrument is a harmonium, because I used to play piano and it is the same scale, same keys. I am learning from listening.
Not at all into vocals? Not learned anything?
I did not learn properly anything about Indian vocals. It is just whatever I learned was only from listening. Bollywood music, having good versions of some bhajans.
Anything that you want to sing? A few lines?
Ishwar satya hai, satya hi shiv hai, shiv hi sundar hai. जाको उठ कर देखो, एक सूर है, एक आकाश है, एक ही धरती माता. दया करो प्रभु, एक बनी सब. दया करो प्रभु, एक बनी सा, साप का एक स्नाता. सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम, सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम.
You don't sing, you just immerse yourself into it.
Music is yoga.
Oh, that's a beautiful quote. Music is yoga.
Music
That also
is
joins you.
yoga.
Now, how many times you have been to India now?
This is the 3rd time. Despite of we are married since 7 years, and we did even a proper Indian Hindu marriage in Russia. The ISKCON people helped us very much in organizing this ritual. But this is only my 3rd time in India. Now I'm staying here for already 3 months.
So what changes you have found? Because earlier you went only to Mumbai and Goa.
Yes.
Now, what are the places
It was
you
long
have
ago.
visited?
It was actually before we met. And it was deep impression. Positive also, negative also, because I loved the people. How open are the people? And I was shocked by how many people are there. Like how all this huge crowd is surviving all together. After the orders and rules in European countries, Here, it looks like a complete mess. How people are organizing all this, but somehow everyone is surviving and people are happy. And all types of people, different religions, different castes, different mindsets, different languages, so many languages. And all this mass of people is in this country. Somehow people are managing.
No, we are managing it very well. Not
Yes.
somehow. We're all very happy doing it. So, what other parts of the country you have visited apart from, as you said that before marriage you went to Goa and
Yes.
Mumbai? That is
Yes.
the normal itinerary of any youngster who would want
Yes.
to come to India. So, what other places you have visited now?
Right now, after Delhi, I visited also Varanasi, Uttarakhand, a couple of places. Then recently we returned from Nepal. I feel this is also a part of India. When I came to Nepal, I was shocked how it happened that it's two separate countries. Then Nepal is a very interesting country. It's the only in the world Hindu country.
Which shows that
Unusual.
the Indian culture and everything Indian has really inspired you. My next question that I wanted to ask you, what are the parallels that you find between the two cultures and the two nations?
Maybe seeking of something else beyond the material world, which is missing in the many, nowadays in many cultures. Then love for family, love for people, selfless service to the country, to the humanity, to the humanitarian values. These are, I think, very much in common.
You have seen two diverse cultures, one the Eastern, the Indian culture, and you have seen the Russian culture. You find that there are a lot of parallels. As a parting shot, if I ask you, what is there in the world which is dividing people when every human race is almost the same, the emotions are same, we grow up in a similar manner, we age in a similar manner. So what is there which is dividing people and what can be done about it?
Ignorance basically is dividing people. Knowledge is uniting people. We have in the Bible there is a legend. I ask forgiveness of the Christians if I don't really know it very well, but it is about the Babylon Tower, when the people initially all people were speaking the same language, but then they got ambition to reach the heaven just by the means of building a tower. So they started to build that tower, and God felt bad about that, and He punished them by dividing them, making them stop understanding each other, to speak in different languages. So that is the thing. So if we learn more about each other, we will start understanding each other better, and we will start understanding ourselves also better.
And as you said that yoga answers a lot of questions, do you think that yoga can become a bridge between humanities?
Yes, very much. Things should not be taken for granted. Things should not be taken as per blind faith. A person should seek answers, and information should be well available. And I am appreciating very much the people who are spreading now the knowledge of the scriptures, translating it into different languages. There's a huge work, and it is actually hell of the work, because translating Sanskrit is difficult. It is such a language. Many words don't have parallel in modern languages.
The union of Russian and Indian has also resulted in having two very good, very young daughters. So what have you planned about them? How are you raising them? How will you be teaching them, raising as citizens of the world?
They are having tough life because they are learning 3 languages and 2 different cultures. They are citizens of the world. We have to decide. Right now we are in the process of deciding what kind of education to give them. We are visiting schools. I am very much impressed by Indian Gurukul system, but it is also it has some things which are difficult for me to accept now. For example, kids have to stay there away from parents for a very long time. So right now we are deciding in which system of education to bring them up.
So how well is this union of you and your husband is taken back home by your parents and Russians?
My parents, my mother is shocked. not from the beginning, but because she all the people are a little bit have a rigid opinion, so it's difficult to make them understand different paradigms. So yes, there are difficulties. My friends are very happy.
And you are happy, and that's all about it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being our guest today, and it was lovely talking to you. Anything more that you want to share with the listeners?
Knowledge will unite us. The only thing which is dividing us is ignorance. We should learn more about ourselves and about each other.
Know thyself and know the world. Thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you.
You were listening to the weekly program Our Guest, that is broadcast every Monday at 9:15 a.m. Don't forget to tune in next week, same day, same time and same frequency for more on Our Guest. Have a nice day.